Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for Solana. Now, I'm going to get into the micro time frames, and just full warning, this might go over some people's heads because we have a lot of complex structures, but I am looking at the possibility that a low is in for our fourth wave. But before I get into this area on the smaller time frames, I just wanted to show you my primary count that we have a wave 1, 2, 3, fourth potentially complete, looking for the fifth wave to the upside. Now, how we target that fifth wave if the fourth wave is to complete is take the length of 1, extend it off the fourth wave pivot, target the 1-to-1 extension, which is at 370. Now, there is always the possibility of extensions, or this is just a 1-2 within a fifth, but we will discuss that in a further video. Now, you can also note we did reach expected retracements on all of our pivots. Our first 1-2 is between the 50 and the 618. Our second 1-2 was between the 618 and the 786. Our fourth wave in blue was right at the 236. So agreeing with guidelines pretty much ideally. This is the complex area. Now, what I did here just to show you that we have met what I consider ideal is the length of wave 2 in green in time, extended off of wave 3 in time. There was our 1-to-1 on July 28th. So we have reached the 1-to-1 in time, and we did make a lower low. So there is the possibility a low is in. Also, where we tend to look for a fourth wave is we take our pitchfork, start from the beginning of wave 1 off of wave 2, put that on a modified pitchfork. If you right click, you can see shift. You have many different options. Go to modified. That's what that is. And all modified is a channel. That's all it is. So what we look for when we take it off the beginning of wave 1, off the end of wave 1, off of wave 2, is to interact with the top end of that channel to find support for our pivot. So you can see it's pretty good. We have the 1-to-1 in time and that pivot. And if we haven't hit the 236 on log, but if we go on linear, we're at the 50. So I would consider a possible bottom in for wave 4. And I'm going to talk about last video, what we are looking for, what actually ended up happening. This is where some things might go over some people's heads. So I'm just going to talk about that. Last video, we were looking for this as a 3, 3, 5 to complete an ABC, but we are looking for the 90% retracement of this A wave in order to qualify as a flat and count this 5 waves as complete. We did not reach this, so this cannot be a flat as labeled as an ABC. Cannot be that flat. Go to linear, we still didn't hit that 90%. One thing that is clear to me is this is 5 waves. I mean, you can count it differently. It just really looks like a 5-wave move to me. We go to linear. We did hit the 100% of A for C in that scenario. But this count doesn't really make sense anymore as an ABC since we didn't reach that 90%. So what are my alternatives? First, I'm going to show you how we can be complete. After re-looking at this is pretty much the only way we can be complete as of this low right here, this last pivot, and that is if we have an ABC for a W. This is actually labeled incorrectly, sorry. This is an X wave as a WXY. Double zigzag, ABC, ABC. Put that on the lowest submicro. Sorry about that. So we have our ABC for our W wave, X wave as a double zigzag, and this would have to be a flat from this X wave high right here. So we get A wave as a zigzag. This would have to be a expanded flat. Remember, this is 5 waves as an ABC, and then we finish in 5. to complete a B, C as a flat in this scenario. So it changes where our X wave is. And in this scenario, we technically have a 3, 3, 3 complete as a WXY. Now, we would have liked to hit that 104 ideally. That's where this W off the X would have been the 1-to-1. But the requirement of waves are complete. Just remember, this is our W, X, Y got extended out as a expanded flat. So that's how we would be complete. You can see there's our 1-to-1 in time. There's the top end of our pitchfork, and technically complete. So what I would do in this scenario is wait for a 5-wave move, look for our entry, stop at that low. If you want to go with this count, not financial advice, you make your own decisions. So this is how we can be complete. This is how things get complicating. I'll show you here, just because there's so much overlap, so many options. This is the annoyance of it all. Sorry, labeling's a little bit off here. There we go. Oh, that's why it's in a different category. Okay, here we go. So remember, we need to reach that 90% to retrace to be considered a flat. So in this scenario, we have our A wave, double zigzag for our A, flat for our B, so we're still in this B wave, and we look for 5 waves up for a C wave to make an A, B. In this scenario, we're looking for a drop, completion, then move to the upside. So in this scenario, we're still in the middle of a larger B wave, like so, with an expanded flat as a B within that B wave. 3, 3, 5. Now in this scenario, this would be an expanded flat in itself, as you can see. We did make a lower low. I took the extensions of our A wave off our B in the expanded flat version. We'd be looking for 5 waves up. If we hit the 1.618 extension of A off of B, that takes us up to our B zone of this A wave at between 241 and 263. So that's what we were talking about last video, this ABC. It would look very similar to this smaller structure right here. This was a flat. Just looking to grind up, quick drop, recover. So this is if this correction is not complete, my expectation up in that zone. So just be extra careful up in this zone after you see 5 waves complete, which you should be anyway if this is a 1-2 within a fifth. You can kind of see in both scenarios, if we're complete as a WXY here, if this is an AB, our expectation is 5 waves up either way, as either a C wave within a B or a wave 1 in a 1-2 within the fifth. Right? So we should get the same direction, same amount of waves in this scenario. So a pretty good long trade in that situation either way. The only issue is as soon as we pass that 90% of this A wave, this can roll over at any time as long as we have a 5-wave move for a C wave. Okay, how can we make a new low? This is the only way I see this. At this point, us making a new low and needing one more move to complete. Remember, we did not hit that 1-to-1 extension of this W off the X over here we had labeled. So in this situation, we'd have an ABC. This becomes our A, B, C as a flat. You can see we reached the 90% retracement of this A wave, so it does qualify as a flat. Remember, this is a nice 5-wave move. So I'd put our W here, X here, different labeling, and we'd be looking for an A, B, C. So another 3-wave move and get our partner leg, ABC. This would make a WXY. So this is if we fail right here at the 618, look for a 1-to-1 extension of this A wave off this B wave for the C wave to complete the Y wave. But there's a lot of evidence to me that at least a potential low is in, as either a flat with the expanded B. And if we do make this expanded flat, we should protect this low anyways. Or if we're complete as a WXY, and we'd be looking for a 1-2, and off we go for our fifth, right? But anyways, that's where the hard stop would be in that situation. And I would only expect one more low as a WXY. Hopefully not too complicating. If we are complete, only targeting 370 currently, pulled from this pivot low, the 1-to-1 extension of wave 1 off of wave 4, open to the possibility of extensions. But if we make the running flat where we get 5 waves up here, quick drop, this target actually gets extended up in price wherever that 4th wave flat pivot ends up. But as of right now, if the low is in, it's 370. All right, guys, I hope that wasn't too complicating. Rewatch the video if you want to grasp all those concepts, but a lot is available as corrective, but more of the moves show us as a move to the upside than a move to the downside, right? So that's the important thing. So probabilities say the next move is to the upside. All right, guys, that's it for Solana. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.